Well guys, since my main camera has broken, and it's coming in the mail in a couple days, but my father let me borrow his really nice Canon EOS Rebel T3i. And I have to say, it is really nice. Only issue is it records at a really big bit rate, so the files are really huge. I'm probably going to compress them down just a little bit to like 15 megabits per second instead of 60 megabits per second, just so they don't clog up my hard drive. But anyway, that's not what this video is about. This video is about something I got at a thrift store. And it is awesome, because I've only seen these once at a yard sale, this time. And the only other time I've seen these was I was given a box full of these when I was about 10 or so, and they are one of the most awesome toys ever. ROBOTIX. The coolest toy to come out of the 1980s, well, along with Constructs. ROBOTIX and Constructs are some of the best toys ever. It was only $10 and I couldn't pass it up. Now before we start actually building anything with this, we're going to probably want to secure some C-cell batteries. Well, a couple years ago, actually many years ago, probably 6 or 7 years ago, I used to use this 1987 RCA CPR 250 camcorder for everything. I carried around with me everywhere, and I have a stack of like 60 VCR tapes, or VHS tapes, that I would use to record. I just have an archive of just stuff I did, similar to the YouTube stuff now, except for recorded very poorly. Well, I always have had an issue with the battery packs, and before I found where to get reconstructed battery packs or remanufactured battery packs, I tried making my own battery packs, and I kind of failed, because I took these nickel cadmium C battery cells and I tried making a battery pack, but it was kind of cumbersome and it was difficult to use. But here's some cells. I haven't charged them in, oh, I'd say 6 or 7 years. So let's go charge these on my power supply. 1 volt, 1.1 volts, almost 1.2, 1.0 volts, 1.0 volt. Actually, that's not too bad. I would have figured these would be like 0.2 volts. I was going to put little magnets across them, but it occurred to me, why don't I just reuse this? So it's a 2 volt battery now. Let's bring up the voltage. There we go. Now that we have those batteries charging, we can focus on making the stuff from the manual. Let's see if we can get something. Let's make that first. So we have the main body, and I believe the legs going like so. So we have the legs hooked up like that. Oh no, that might be the opposite one. Let's see. Yeah, that looks better. And we can obviously tell that this is supposed to fit on here, because there's the cutaways for the larger sprocket. Hook that on there. Okay, so that's working. We have our cover, so this will go onto here. Let's see. There we go. And there we have the legs, like the walkers in Star Wars. I believe the aesthetics of these are very much inspired by the walkers from Star Wars, the big walking machine things. Now we just take a motor, hopefully one with a gear, so it can interface with the walker. You have the gear inside there, and you have the gear on here. It goes together like this. Now you can have a power cable coming off of it like so. So we have the 2 power cables coming out, and we hook that up to here, I think. And there we go. If we add batteries into here, it should go forward and reverse. Now let's just wait for the batteries to charge. Okay, so it looks like the batteries are fully charged. I'm not entirely sure on the nickel cadmium voltage, but I think 1.4 volts is about okay for an old cell. Now, I do understand that you can, like, you're supposed to overcharge them a little bit sometimes if they're sitting too long, so these probably could go up a little higher. I don't know, though. But 1.4 volts seems good enough for now. And something very interesting happened. Well, not really happened, it's just I just noticed it the other day. You remember how I made the video talking about how my universal power supply died? Well, out of the blue, it's working again. Look at that. It's crazy. I have no idea why it failed, and I have no idea why it's going back to normal now, but I don't trust it enough to let it run while I'm gone, so I'm only going to trust it. I'm only going to use it when I'm here. I'm not going to let it sit and charge batteries overnight anymore. But oh well, at least it's nice that it's working. Let's put these into the constructs and have some fun. Keep breaking these tabs. Well, there goes all the tabs, I guess. That's one way to open it. That's what you get with 30-year-old plastic, though. Oh well. Okay, the first motor. Reverse that. Seems like these batteries are a bit low voltage compared to what it needs. And these motors don't sound too good. They sound pretty chunky. Now the other one. It's odd, the reverse doesn't work. I believe that'd be reverse. Okay, I'm going to break the sticker on here. I'm going to try to unscrew it. Whoops. Oh, never mind. It does have forward and reverse functionality. So how this works is the center part is ground, and it just switches in between off, left, or right. So it has -3 volts or +3 volts. That's actually pretty cool. And it's just a very simple switch inside there. I believe the issue I was having is just down to corrosion, because inside of here it's very corroded. Okay, let's load the batteries back in there and see if that works. Forward and backwards. Awesome! Now there's something else very interesting you can do with these motors, and it comes with this kit also. Make little arm type things that'll grip onto stuff. And this works like, well, let's just go and take it off. You have the motor, you have your little pivoting arm, then you have the main arm that's connected to the motor itself. There you have it. Ah, darn it. It doesn't have very good grip, but still it's pretty cool. Well, unfortunately, I noticed something. It's missing the little pads on the bottom of the feet that help it gain traction. I think I remember it being either like a rubber or like a foam similar to this. But either way, it didn't have the slipping problem that it does here. So we basically built the lunar rover with a few alterations with the front arm. Let's see if there's any other designs. Oh, there's one. But we all know it's just better to build your own. So that's just a quick little look at robotics. And I have to say, it is one of the funnest toys you can get. If you ever find them at a yard sale, you gotta pick them up. Because even if you don't enjoy it, they're probably gonna make a really awesome gift for somebody else that enjoys them. Not counting, they're probably pretty cheap now. This is the R-1000 series. I happen to have the R-2000 series, and the R-2000 series had a lot better parts in it. Like, for instance, it had bigger wheels that would raise the vehicle up so it wouldn't get stuck on blankets or carpet or whatever. It could drive over a lot of things. Like, I remember taking it outside and it drove through grass. You had to have a lot of batteries, and the batteries had to be powered up high, but still, that's far better than what this kit does. It also had a bigger battery box. I think it took like 8 D-cell batteries, so it lasted a long time. And it had control panels that had 5 switches on them. They could handle 5 different motors at a time. So I think the R-2000 kit is far better than the R-1000. But either way, they're still pretty good, and they still have very useful features. So if you ever find it at a yard sale or at a thrift store, I'd say get it. But there's something else I'd say to get too. But I'd say to leave that for another day. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching. See ya!